ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो शिवतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सह गणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome to corporate Bhagavad Gita. We are continuing from 7th chapter. uh, we did till 16th verse and we'll continue from 17th verse. So this particular chapter, 7th verse, 7th chapter is opening of Krishna's biodata. Who is Krishna? Till 6th chapter, Krishna doesn't tell many things about himself. Few things he says. Um, Few things he says, like he says in 4th chapter, uh, I told the knowledge to Sun God, and Arjuna asked this question, how could you tell to Sun God? So then Krishna says, I can remember all my previous lives. Arjuna, you cannot. Right? So some things he says, and he says that every millennium I keep appearing to establish dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharatah. And then Krishna talks about yoga, whatever spiritual life if we want to practice, we have to practice this yoga set of activities, which is called a yoga, to connect to the supreme. Now in the 6th chapter, Krishna makes a statement in the very last verse. He says, you become a yogi better than empiricist, better than better than empiricist, better than fruitive work, better than ascetic. You become a yogi. So he makes that statement in the last chapter, in the previous chapter here. And then he says, of all the yogis, one who thinks of him, thinks of Krishna within himself, renders transcendent service to Krishna, is the most intimately united with him, with Krishna in yoga, and is the highest of all. Is the highest of all. That means in yoga system also, one who is intimately united with Krishna is the highest. Now, one may have this question, why Krishna? So that's why Krishna starts saying this particular chapter, 7th chapter, and he says how to have that full consciousness of him, how to be conscious of Krishna. And for that, Krishna is giving the knowledge. But before that, he has to tell why one has to be conscious of Krishna. Just anyone cannot come and say, I am the you need to pay obeisances to me, you need to pay taxes to me, you need to respect me. We will say, why you? Right? So same thing in this chapter is, why Krishna? So then he starts saying, not everyone knows me in truth. Hardly one knows me in truth. Then he says, everything, all these energies that are there, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, these are my energies. And the living entities, jivas, they are also mine. They are another, and they are controlling this earth, water, fire, air, ether. They are exploiting it. They are using it, exploiting it. Okay? Because I am the source of everything, I'm the origin and source. They cannot know me. There is no truth superior to me. Everything rests as pearls strung on a thread. So in a pearl necklace, we cannot see the thread, but we know the thread is there, which is keeping the pearl necklace intact. Similarly, whatever in this world is sustained by Krishna. We may not be able to see him, but he's there. Scientists also want to understand why the planets are floating in the universe. So they came up with this energy called as gravitational force and gravitational pull, right? Now, from Vedic perspective, that whole thing is an energy of Krishna. That's how he's keeping the planets. Hmm? Then Krishna says, I am taste in water, I am sound in ether. Whatever is subtle and ability in man, that is all him. Hmm? Okay. So now he says, I am the supreme. Okay. He concludes this by saying, I am the supreme. Everything comes from me. Um, yeah. Then he talks about the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, ignorance, which is very difficult to overcome. Only those who have surrendered can overcome it. Well, why we need to overcome this three modes? Do you know why we have to overcome these three modes?
Uh, because mode of ignorance and mode of passion is and goodness is most of the best out of these two. Like
Okay.
at least if you want to be in three of them, you should be in goodness. And because of the goodness, what you do is that you collect some karmas. You like more of goodness people are like the people who are doing social services or donation or donation. These people are in considered as a mode of goodness.
Hmm.
But but ultimate goal according to Shastra says that you need to become at the platform of uh, like mode of bhakti, like
Yeah.
that
Pure
platform
pure
that needs to.
goodness is we need to be in. That is right. So basically these three modes are three ropes which are binding us. And liberation means to cut these three ropes, to become free from these three modes. Okay. And Krishna says those who have surrender onto him can easily cross beyond it. They are only the ones who can cut the three modes. So first he says, I am the supreme. Then he says, I have set up this world with three modes, which is very difficult to overcome. But he says, one who has surrendered onto me, onto Krishna, they overcome. The word he uses is prapadyante. Prapadyante. That means surrender. Where are we? So, so the process of yoga is what? To get free from the material bondage, right? So Krishna is making it simple. He's saying, okay, to free from material bondage means we have to surrender onto me. That's why that yoga is topmost. Hmm. Now he says, who can surrender, who don't surrender. So we discuss this. There are four people who don't surrender: those who are foolish, those who are lowest of mankind, those whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake atheistic nature of demons do not surrender. Let's see if we have some notes. Okay, we don't have any notes. Why I'm discussing this again is the eighth chapter that we will enter later is based on these two verses. So we need to be very clear of these two verses. So four types of people who don't surrender, and then four types who surrender to Krishna. You got it? Why we have to surrender? And we have to surrender to get free from the bondage, right? Yeah. So first type is they are foolish. Basically, who work like animals. They don't think anything other than this. If I get my daily food, I am happy in this world. Okay. Those are called as mudas. Mudas are foolish. Second kind. Second kind is naradhamas. Naradhamas are lowest of the mankind. Lowest of the mankind is they are very sophisticated, cultured people, but they don't take to Krishna consciousness. Okay, they don't take to spirituality. So here you can say foolish work like animals are here. You can say karmis. Karmis means you can say workaholics. You see, some workaholics, they are not at all interested in anything other than life, other than just work, 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 and earn, and enjoy. They are just in that mode, so they won't surrender to Krishna. Second is lowest of the mankind. These are cultured people, but they don't take to spirituality. They give it up. We see many, cultured people, but they are atheists in their behavior. They'll say why we need God and all that. So those are lowest of the mankinds. Maya, Maya, Aparita, Jnana. Now these are deluded speculators. So these, they study Shastras, they study scriptures, okay? They study scriptures, but they think God is ordinary only. They ordinary, or God is dead, or God is no more, he's gone. These kind of people. Here, Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, they come in this. That four star Asurim Bhava. Asurim Bhavam Ashutaha. These are demoniac atheists. So you can say, above ones are cultured atheists. But these are demoniac atheists. Demoniac atheists means they want to do bad in this world. They want to destroy. Evil mentality. They want to destroy this world. So these four types of people don't surrender to Krishna. Okay. And then last time we discussed 7.16. Four types who surrender to Krishna. Artha. Artha is distressed. See, distressed people, they surrender, right? If we also, if we have some difficulty, what kind of difficulties we have? Hmm? Can you tell what kind of difficulties we have?
Many kind like there can be personal problems, office related
Personal problem,
problems,
health
uh,
problems,
natural calamities.
natural calamities. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and
So all these distresses are there. Three types of distress is always disturbing people and us also. So we go to God. Simple, right? So those surrender to God. Then there is Jigyasu. Jigyasu is inquisitive. Inquisitive, before inquisitive, we'll go to Artharthi. Artharthi means seeker of wealth. Seeker of wealth, right? See, distress and seeker of wealth, we know these two people definitely go, right? And we are also one of them. If we need wealth, we go to Krishna, right? If we are distress, mental, physical, calamity, we go to Krishna. Then there is Jigyasu. Jigyasu means inquisitive. Inquisitive of this world, philosophical, they also go to Krishna. Okay, because Krishna is the source of all knowledge, right? Then Jnani. Jnani is the one who only want to who seeks for um, he seeks knowledge about he seeks knowledge of Krishna. Let's put it that. Only Jnani is the one who is very specific. Krishna, I want you to know. Inquisitives are like scientists, They're inquisitive in a lot of other things, physics, chemistry, mathematics. They're sometimes happy in that. Actually, one Nobel Prize winner, he said, actually, what he's told, he said that my whole research started that I wanted to search God, but I ended up with neutrons and atoms. So they are inquisitive, and they try to analyze, observe this world, get some knowledge like that. But Gyanis are the one who only want to know about Krishna. They come to know about Krishna and they say, we want to only know about Krishna. Like that. Okay. So we discussed a few here. Now I'll go to 17th verse. तेषां ज्ञानी नित्ययुक्त एक भक्तिर्विशिष्यते प्रियो हि ज्ञानिनो अर्थार्थम अहम स च माम प्रिय. Of these, the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotion service is the best, for I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. So the Jnani, right, he is approaching Krishna to know about Krishna and to do pure devotion service. Therefore, Krishna says he is the best. Hmm? He is the best. See, I will give you a very simple example. If there is a rich man, right, very rich man, four types of people approach him. First is once what happened in Kerala, one rickshaw wala, he recently, I think last year or maybe last to last year, he won a lottery of like few crores of rupees. So the moment he got so much money, right, so many people started calling him. So he ran away from his city. He went to his relatives and he hid himself. So to a rich man also, many distressed people and seeker of wealth, they approach him, right? This is our normal experience, right? To rich people, Artha and Artharthi approach them also.
Yes.
And to rich people, Jigyasu also approach, educationalist. If they want to open any college, university, they approach the rich people. If they want to do some research work, they approach the rich people. I want to do this research. Now, who will approach in this fourth category to the rich person? One who wants to love him, right? So that is a category of what? Friends, family members, right? They will only approach him for what? Will they approach him, oh, I need money? Or will they approach him for like, I am in problem, help me? Or will they approach him for any other reason? No, right? A friend approaches a rich person who is his friend not for any above reasons, just for the sake of that loving relationship, right? Isn't it?
Yes. Yes. Correct.
Yeah. So, whom do you think the rich person will like the most?
Yeah, the friend one.
Yeah. So that's what Krishna is saying. For him, I am very dear to him and he's dear to me.
Hmm.
Now, does this make Krishna partial?
A little bit, yes.
But he's simply reciprocating, right? See, these three types of people are not coming to love him. The
Hmm.
one who is coming to love him, if we don't reciprocate our love to him, then that is what to say, ingratitude, right?
Hmm. Correct.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So that
That's
is
not
even a
partiality.
very bad situation. So, but Krishna is not like that. He reciprocates, no? So a rich person, he's saying, I'm not partial, but one who is coming to develop relationship with me based on love, I will become dear to him and he will become dear to me. Isn't that straightforward?
Yes.
So the rich person is also not very partial, right? So like that, Krishna may seem to be partial, but actually he's just reciprocating. See, it happens with us also. Now, we are earning some money. These three, for four kinds of people approach us also, isn't it? We go to some place, the
Yeah.
beggars may approach us. Sometimes people may approach us. Sometimes even a relative may approach us, right?
Hmm.
But whom do we like the most? One who approaches us without any ulterior motive, right?
Hmm.
That's what it is. Yeah. So does this make sense? Like, when Krishna says they are very dear to me, I'm very dear to him, it doesn't make him partial. It is just the way the reciprocation has to be there. If somebody
Hmm.
serves us, loves us, we reciprocate, right? We don't become ungrateful to that person.
Hmm.
Even we see in
Correct.
babies also. We love them and they love us back, right?
Hmm.
So is that partial or are they impartial? No, they are just reciprocating.
Yes.
Okay. But these are very important points because some people say God is partial and all that. So actually, he's not partial. He's just reciprocating. We are not approaching God with the right spirit. Okay. It is not like he hates the above three. No, he doesn't hate them, but he reciprocates to their needs. Okay, they say this much you need. Okay, I'll give you this much. But one who wants love from Krishna, Krishna reciprocates with love, right? We don't hate a beggar. We reciprocate according to what he has asked. If he asked, Paisa do bhaiya, we may give 10 rupees, right? Nowadays they don't accept 1 rupee, so we have to give them 5 rupees, 10 rupees, right?
Yeah.
so,
Correct.
so do we hate them? No. It is just the way of reciprocation. It's the level of reciprocation. Hmm? Like that. Okay. But if our wife also asks for money, how do we reciprocate? Do we just reciprocate on the level of okay, here the money? No. That reciprocation is out of love, right?
Correct.
So why? Because the relationship is different. Beggar's relationship versus wife's relationship, child's relationship, very different. So same way, Krishna reciprocates differently. Okay. Okay, let's get into this. Free from all contaminations of material desires, the distressed, the inquisitive, the penniless, and the seeker after the supreme knowledge can all become pure devotees. Actually, all these four categories, the three categories, they can become pure devotees. But out of them, he who is in knowledge about the absolute truth and free from all material desires. See, material desires means they want something from Krishna for their own benefit. Okay. Now, Krishna still allows them to have that ulterior motive because he's like a parent. He's like a parent. He's not a cruel person. He's like a parent. He understands. Okay. He will take that money and he will try to enjoy in this world. Fine, I'll give him some money, I'll give him. Like a parent, he will decide. But one who is free from all material desires become a really pure devotee of the Lord. No? One who doesn't have that ulterior motives, they become the pure devotee of the Lord. And of the four orders, the devotee who is in full knowledge and at the same time engaged in devotional service to the Lord is the best. So, in the pure devotee, one who's engaged in the service of the Lord is the best. By searching after knowledge, one realizes that his self is different from this material body, and when further advanced, he comes to the knowledge of impersonal Brahman and Paramatma. Okay, now here is the progress of a spiritualist. So, first, the spiritualist searches knowledge, then he understands that he is not the self. Oh, sorry, he is not the same as the material body, but he is different than that. He is the soul. Then he comes to know there is impersonal Brahman, where there is eternity, there is no death in it. Then he comes to know within the body there is Paramatma. And after Paramatma, when he is fully purified, he realizes that his constitutional position is the eternal servant of God. Then he understands the Bhagwan aspect. And by association with pure devotees, the inquisitive, the distress, and the seeker after material amelioration and the man in knowledge all become pure. A very interesting word Prabhupada has used as amelioration. Let's see. Act of making something better, improvement. So after getting that material improvement, everything, then by the association of pure devotees, they'll take to devotion service, pure devotion service. But in the preparatory stage, in the initial stage, the man who is in full knowledge of the Supreme and is at the same time executing devotion service is very clear, very dear to the Lord, and he is situated in pure knowledge of the transcendence of the Supreme Personality, so protected in devotion service that material contamination cannot touch him. Okay. Okay. So there are some technical things in this. I'll just say. Okay. We'll move to this 18th verse. उदाहर सर्व एवेते ज्ञानी तव आत्मैव मे मतम् अस्तित स हि युक्तात्मा माम एवानुत्तमं गतिम् मामे मामे वानुत्तमाम मामे वामुत्तमाम माम एवानुत्तमम माम एवानुत्तमं गतिम्. Okay. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendent service, he is sure to attain me the highest and the most perfect goal. Okay, it is not the devotees who are less complete in knowledge and are not dear to the Lord. Okay, this I said, it is not that devotees who are less complete in knowledge. Okay, those who are not pure, it is like they are not dear. The Lord says that they are all magnanimous. They are all great souls. They are much better than the above four categories. They are neither atheist, they are not like animals, they are not like speculators, they are not even demonic atheists. They are all magnanimous. Right? All magnanimous. Mahatma. He has used the word Mahatma. Udharaha. He used the word Udharaha. Udara is actually magnanimous. They are all great souls. The devotees who want some benefit out of devotional service are accepted by the Lord because there is an exchange of affection. Out of affection, they ask the Lord for some material benefit, and when they get it, they become so satisfied that they also advance in devotional service. A child may ask money, we may give the money, but the child is not going to run away with it. He'll become more happy and he will enhance his relationship with the parent. Okay, the parent knows about this. If the child says, I want this, I want this, I want this, the parent will give. But the child is not going to stop loving the parent. He will increase his love. Oh, they bought this for me, He will go to and tell to 10 more people. Papa bought this for me, mommy bought this for me, like that. But the child has material desires. But they'll become satisfied and then they will advance in devotion service. It's like that. So we can make some comparison. But a devotee in full knowledge is considered to be very dear to the Lord because his only purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion. Such a devotee cannot live without a second, without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotee and cannot be separated from him. So 946 Srimad Bhagavatam says, Sadhavo Hridayam Mayam. Sadhavo Hridayam Mayam Sadhunam Hridayam Tavaham Mad Antyatte Tena Janati Neham Tebhyo Manag Api. A devotee is always in my heart. I am always in the heart of the devotees. The devotee does not know anything beyond me, and I also cannot forget the devotee. There is very intimate relationship between me and my pure devotees. Pure devotees in full knowledge are never out of spiritual touch, and therefore they are very much dear to me. Very interesting statement, right? The devotees are in my heart. I am in their heart. The devotee does not know anything beyond me, and I cannot forget. Do you make some similarity where do people say such things? Can you make some comparison?
Coup- couple. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. But then what happens?
yeah, some fight
Friction.
happens and
Then friction
this.
happens. Then first time before friction they say, I cannot live without you. And after friction, they say, I cannot live with you. Right?
Yeah.
So that is the nature of material relationship. Okay. Therefore, in material relationship, duty is more important than emotion and affection. Okay. To being dutiful is more important. In spiritual relationship, the love is pure, so the duty is automatic. It needs not be forced also. The love is so, because Krishna is a source of pleasure, so we cannot be satisfied, or let's say, we cannot be unsatisfied with him. We cannot be unsatisfied with him. Hmm? But in this world everything is temporary, right? So there's a phase. After that phase, right, that same person is no more attractive to us. Why? Because they are limited. We are also limited. It is not like they are only limited, we are also limited. Okay. Then the duty has to overtake, has to take a primary relationship, primary position there. Okay. This has to be dutiful. Hmm? But in the case of with Krishna, relationship with Krishna, it is not like that. Krishna himself is very amazing. He's Bhagavan. Six opulences he has in in infinite capacity. So we'll never be unsatisfied with him. Okay. Okay. Bahunam janmanam ante ज्ञानवान माम प्रपद्यन्ते वासुदेव सर्वमिति सहमात्मा sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So he's talking about that pure soul, okay? Yeah. Among the four, the one who is in knowledge, and among that in knowledge, one who is in devotional service. Okay. In devotional service means he has surrendered to Krishna. He knows that Krishna is the cause of all causes. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudev, you are everything now. For when one comes to that conclusion, such a soul is very rare. We have Prahlad Maharaj story, right? He had this understanding. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So even to his father, he would say, "Oh, best of the demons, Vasudeva Vishnu is supreme. You have to worship him." Even though he knew that his father is against Vishnu, still he was completely fearless. Why? Because he was in complete knowledge and surrendered to Krishna. So whenever Hiranyakashipu tried to kill him, Krishna with his invisible hands would come and save him. Why? Because such a soul is very rare. If something is very rare, we will protect it, right?
Yes. Yes.
So what to speak of Krishna? He will also protect it, na? So therefore he protected Prahlad Maharaj because that is very rare. And then when Prahlad Maharaj said, or when Prahlad Maharaj asked, "Is your supreme in this wall?" He said, "He's everywhere." So Hiranyakashipu, like a father, he said, "I will break this wall and I will show you that it is not here." So he broke the wall. But then what happened? Because Prahlad Maharaj said Supreme is over there, the Supreme came out of it to show him, "Here I am." And he came in the form of Narsimha Bhagwan.
Mhm.
Generally, if we say God is in the wall and if somebody breaks the wall, will God come out?
No.
No, right? But in case of Prahlad Maharaj said, because Prahlad Maharaj is very rare. Okay? He's very rare. And Krishna is saying, that he's very dear to me. I am very dear to him. He's in me. I am in him. I will never forget him. He will never forget me. He's very rare. He's Mahatma. Sudurlabha Mahatma. He's Mahanatma. So to such a Mahanatma, he will definitely protect. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But it doesn't mean that if we don't have pure devotion, it doesn't mean that he hates us. Or it doesn't mean that he, ridicules us or looks at us with, pity or, oh, these are small people. No. Krishna, what he says in the previous verse? Udara. Udara. He used the word Udara, right? Magnanimous souls. Udara. Magnanimous souls. So see how Krishna is looking at such souls. Even though they may not be perfect, he will say they are Udara. They are magnanimous. Okay. Let's see if we can finish this. We'll finish this purport and we'll open up for some questions. So,
Yeah.
the living entity, while executing devotional service or transcendental rituals, after many, many births, may actually become situated in transcendental pure knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. Okay, he will come to know that Krishna is supreme. In the beginning of spiritual realization, when one is trying to give up one's attachment to materialism, there is some leaning towards impersonalism. But when one is fully further advanced, he can understand that there are activities in the spiritual life and these activities constitute devotional service. Realizing this, he becomes attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrenders unto him. At such a time, one can understand that Lord Sri Krishna's mercy is everything, and he is the cause of all causes, and that this material manifestation is not independent from him. Some speculators they conclude, right, when there is evil happening in this world, they say God is not there. He has no more control over it. He is dead. He went away. He ran away. But actually, a devotee, he understands that Krishna is the cause of all causes, and this material world is never independent of him. He realizes that the material world to be a perverted reflection of the spiritual variegatedness and realizes that in everything there is a relationship with the Supreme Lord. Thus, he thinks of everything in relation to Vasudev or Shri Krishna. Such a universal vision of Vasudev precipitates one's full surrender to the Supreme Shri Krishna as the highest good. Such a surrendered ghost soul is very, very rare. Shvetashara Upanishad, these verses are there. Lord Vishnu has thousands of okay, very nice verses. Sahasra Shira Purushaha Sahastaksh Sahastrapat Sah Bhumim Vishwaktavrita. Thousands of eyes, thousands of feet, entirely encompassing the whole universe. He still extends beyond it by 10 fingers breadth. He's in fact this entire universe. He's all that was and all that will be. He's the Lord of immortality, and all that is nourished by food. All of that is nourished by food. In the Chandogya Upanishad is said, okay, in the body of the living entity, neither the power to speak, nor the power to see, nor the power to hear, nor the power to think is the prime factor. It is the life which is the center of all activities. Similarly, Lord Vasudev or personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is the prime entity in everything. In this body, there are powers of speaking, seeing, hearing, mental activities, but these are not important if not related to the Supreme Lord. But because Vasudev is all pervading and everything is Vasudev, the devotee surrenders in full knowledge. So we may have powers of speaking, hearing, and everything, and we should connect it to Krishna. So a rare soul, what he does is he connects all this ability that he has within himself in the service of the Lord, like that. Okay, okay. Let's stop here. Any questions? Any comments? Do you have any questions or comments?
No, 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 not question. Comments are like today's session was really great. Like this was very interesting. Like there are a lot of doubts I had before it got cleared out today. Like it's very some of like 15, 16, 17 uh, shlokas from this. These are very important.
Yeah, right.
And this, and somewhere in between there also you have mentioned the like the if the person is looking for some material desire
Yes,
and
yeah,
Krishna gives them still like why he gives them. So this explanation is also very important.
right.
Very nice. That's also.
Okay, okay, okay. Good.